For the past few years, America has been bombarded with Aussie movies, beer, and bands. What's so typically Australian about INXS? Michael Hutchins explains.
I suppose what's Australian about Australian bands is a certain sense of humour about it all. I don't know, there's some weird attitude there. I don't think people get into bands in Australia for the same reasons they get into them around the rest of the world. It seems that in Australia people get into music because they just love music, and they don't. It's all function, not form. You know, they don't get into wear flashy clothes or because they think more girls are going to hang around or they're going to be able to drive sports cars or something. You couldn't do that. If you do that in the pubs in Australia, you'd never be able to get on stage.
I'm a top at the show. I'm radio at the local bar. In the hot traffic by the red tail lights. Everybody's down in their knees, living like thieves. But who needs that when it's all in your hands? And we take it down to the end of town where they have control, but they're losing touch when the lights go out. Everybody's down in their knees, living like thieves. But who needs that? It's all in your hands. Everybody's down on their knees, listen like thieves for the answers. But who needs that? You got to do it in your hands. It's all in your hands. It's all in your hands. You are all you need. You are all you need. That's everything. So hesitate. There's no time to waste. Just do it for yourself. I said everybody's down on their knees, listen like thieves. But who needs that? When it's all in your hands, you got it all. You got it all. It's all in your hands. You got it all. You got it all. I said everybody's down on their knees, listen like thieves. But who needs that when it's all in your hands?
Listen Like Thieves, from the album of the same name. Up until this point, INXS had used a different producer for each album. Then along came Pretenders' Roxy Music producer Chris Thomas. Here's Michael.
It's the first time we really felt like maybe somebody was getting something out of us that we didn't realise we could do. Or we just like this honesty in the studio. It's great. It's a very simple and straightforward way of producing. It's very old-fashioned, really.
Andrew Ferris.
The thing is with recording What You Need was that putting all the machines aside and everything else, it was just the band in a room without a producer or anything. The smartest thing Chris Thomas did was to leave us alone. He actually wasn't there when we did that song. We just played that song over and over and over and over again until we got it right. Then we talked about, the solo bit in the middle that Tim came up with and all the rest of it. And then we just got the thing right, And when Chris walked back in and said, well, how'd you go, I said, here, record this, So really it came together before we even put it on tape.
Many people only became aware of INXS through their last album, Listen Like Thieves. In fact, that was their 5th album. Kirk Pengilly and Andrew Ferris see no problem with this slow rise to success.
There are a lot of bands really, not just Australia or whatever, but they grow up on the pub circuit and, they suddenly have a top 10 single or whatever and they've got to play a theatre or an arena or something, and they just can't do it. And we've been very lucky like that because our whole career's been very gradual, It wasn't until our 4th album that we had a #1 hit in Australia, and it wasn't until our 4th release in America, more or less, that we had a #1, so it wasn't too much of a shock to the system, and consequently I think it's allowed us to be able to adapt to any situation and still have our heads screwed on right.
Here's This Time from Listen Like Thieves.
I will believe you if you say it's true. Girl, you know I need you more than any words spoken. I've seen you before. Turn and walk away. You say you won't come back. It's just a game in a way. We are hoping chasing the things we cannot find. You know that we are always wasting time, and we are hoping, yes, and we're praying. This time will be the last time that we will fight like this. This time will be the last time that we will fight like this. No, I can't forget. We have fought before. I've seen inside your heart, and I know it's breaking. We are hoping, yeah, and we're praying. Baby, this time will be the last time that we will fight like this. This time will be the last time that we will fight like this. This time will be the last time.
More access to INXS